Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Grace Holland.
Today we are joined by Tar Heel traveler Scott Mason. Scott, thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for having me. It's always fun talking about stories.
Yes, and you've got a couple good ones coming down the pipe as always. Tell me about the one that is airing. We're talking on Wednesday, so Wednesday evening.
Yeah, this is about iced tea. Of course, that's a big Southern staple. Do you like sweet tea?
You know, it's funny. I come from an extremely Southern family, but that is the one thing that would get my Southern card revoked is I can't do sweet tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm more of an iced coffee person. But,
Okay, yeah.
But I do like an occasional iced tea. So there's this guy named Roman Gabriel. He's got the same name as the former professional football player who graduated from NC State, Roman Gabriel. Well, this Roman Gabriel lives in Durham, and he grew up in the part of his life in the Durham area, and some of his fondest memories were drinking iced tea with his grandmother. And they would have these family gatherings, but his grandma Leona, she would make this special iced tea. I mean, she put so much time in it. First, they got this cool spring water. She'd put it in the jar, and then she'd put like 8 different types of tea bags in the water. But that wasn't all. She would cut up fruit, all kinds of fruit, put that in there, cut up mint leaves, add honey, a special sugar, and then she would leave it in the sun for several hours. Well, then when they finally drank the tea, he just said it was the best iced tea he'd ever had. I mean, granted, he was still a boy, but he just associated with that iced tea with all these great family gatherings and family memories. Well, anyway, years passed. Roman is very interested in art and actually studies fine art in school. School takes him to California. But as he's studying art in school, he begins to also take an interest in photography and filmmaking. Well, he ends up launching this career as a filmmaker, kind of stumbles into it, and his career takes off. Next thing you know, he's like directing some not only music videos, but some impressive TV shows. Like there's this one with Snoop Dogg on the E! Network. And there he is shooting, and he's like, how did I get here? So he said he's making gobs of money, having the time of his life. Well, he goes rollerblading one day on the boardwalk in Santa Monica, and he falls, and he smashes his whole hand, like breaks every bone in his hand. He hits the ground. He says it's the worst pain he's ever had in his whole life. And as soon as he hit the ground, he thought to himself, this is the best thing that's ever happened, because it allowed himself to get out of the rat race, and he realized, hey, I can go home to Durham and recuperate and see all my family and friends who I haven't seen in ages because I've been so busy. So that's what he does. He comes home to Durham, gets with his family, and then the idea pops into his head, hey, that iced tea that Grandma Leona made, she had since passed, but he begins making this iced tea the way she made it, putting it in the sun. And for grins, he invites friends over, and they love the iced tea. And then he takes it to the farmer's market. He's like sells out immediately.
Wow.
Well, next thing you know, he starts his own little company, Roman's, Romanz, Roman's Iced Tea, and he opens the Sweet Tea Cafe in Durham. He opened it in 2023, and the Sweet Tea Cafe, it's a great-looking building. It looks like a little beach hut almost, but you drive up, and there's just this great vibe to it, and he's cutting fruit. He cuts fruit like all day long, and he puts it in the tea, and he shakes it up, and he's got this great smile, and he's busy. And you can sit outside or take it to go. And that is the story of Roman's Sweet Tea. In a roundabout way, he finally found his true calling.
Yeah, it sounds like, and it's so nice that he was able to take a family tradition and turn it into something that he could share that way.
Oh, yeah, he loves it. And he says with every batch of iced tea, he actually hugs it. And he thinks of Grandma Leona, and that every batch has Grandma Leona's love in it. And incidentally, he also sells coffees. He sells this great lemonade. In fact, I think it was the best lemonade I've ever tasted. It had that sort of minty flavor. And he sells a variety of other drinks, too. So Roman Gabriel, Roman's Sweet Tea Cafe in Durham.
Yeah, well, I'm sure this time of year, the sweet tea and the lemonade is probably selling out as hot as it is.
Off the shelf,
then coffee in the colder months for sure. But that's really cool.
Let's take a quick break right there, and we'll be right back.
And then you have another one that's airing next week about a farm stand in Tarboro, so eastern side of the state.
Yeah, this is in Pinetops. It's a really nice family, the Webb family, and Kevin Webb. He's a farmer, and they have this great farm. Well, they have a 19-year-old daughter named Chloe. A very cute girl. She doesn't talk a lot. She does talk some, but she actually has special needs. The mom and dad didn't know anything was wrong until she was maybe 6 months old or so, and they realized, well, she was a little developmentally delayed, and they came to find out, well, she had this chromosome deletion. Which is sort of a rare condition.
Yeah.
And, of course, they were devastated when they found out. And they really weren't sure what her life was going to be like. Well, I mean, her life, for the most part, is pretty normal. I mean, she has a good personality. And but the thing is, for a child with special needs, there's only so much they can do. Well, she was, kind of sitting at home, and they're like, well, we got to do something to just kind of make her active. So they, the dad, meanwhile, had been like growing watermelons, and he grew so many watermelons, he was giving them away to friends, and the friends were like, God, this is the best watermelon I've ever had. You should have a farm stand. And then Kevin and his wife Emily talked about it, and they said, well, yeah, let's go ahead and build a farm stand, and let's call it Chloe's Farm Stand. And this will give Chloe something to do. She can go to this farm stand, and she can greet customers, and they'll sell fruits and vegetables. So that's what they did. It was kind of a good idea, something simple. And the farm stand is pretty small. It looks like a tool shed, basically, but it's really nice inside, and they have the shelves full of peaches and watermelons and all kinds of stuff. And they also sell ice cream, by the way.
Nice.
So they started out small a few years ago, just thought this was going to be a little something to give Chloe something to do. Well, next thing you know, the place is slammed. I mean, they are so busy. People love what they grow. And, of course, the farm is right next to the farm stand. So everything they grow, they're selling right next door. And Chloe is there helping out, and the sweetest girl. And, she does talk to some extent, and is just really a cutie pie. And but her main job is to sit in the rocking chair on the front porch and greet folks as they walk in. And I guess the backstory to this, or the moral of the story, as Emily Webb, the mom, says, is that what this has done, it's really more than just about selling fruits and vegetables. It has opened the community's eyes. I mean, so many people don't have experience with special needs children. They probably don't even know how to act around them. But they love Chloe. I mean, they treat her so nicely, and I think it really has improved both their lives, both Chloe's and the people that come to buy the fruits and vegetables. Yeah. A nice little story, and of course, the way the mom told it was very poignant indeed. She certainly shed a few tears about receiving that devastating diagnosis, but then dealing with it, and in the end, what a blessing it is to have Chloe and what she's provided to the family.
Yeah, the family and the community, when we are able to get to know each other, we all learn something, we all grow.
Yeah.
Like the plants they grow. And,
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the Tar Heel Traveler. What I like is, there's in the case of almost every story, there's the story, what is obvious, but then there's the backstory, the meaning, the larger story. I always say stories with layers are the best kind.
Yes, I agree. Can't wait to see that one next week when it airs. And thank you so much for joining us here, Scott.
And thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download and for making us part of your morning routine. Another great way to get WRAL news is the Morning Briefing newsletter. That's a daily email with Triangle news, events, and headlines to help you get ready for the day. You can sign up at WRAL.com/newsletter.